Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive 717. I am back with another video. So today I wanted to share a reading with you guys around the masculine energies because I was feeling a lot of passionate energy coming towards the divine feminine. Now, if you guys notice, the card that I have in the background here is messages regarding divine love connections, and it says that things are about to get juicy. So right now we know that we're experiencing the summer months, so there's a lot of you having a good time. You guys are having drinks, you guys are just enjoying yourselves, you're feeling the energy of a lot of earthly pleasures, and the masculines are thinking a lot about the feminines, and we did have the Lovers card appearing in the spread, and that's mainly why I wanted to share this reading. I think the masculines are having a lot of interesting epiphanies surrounding the connection to the divine feminine, and I have the Nine of Wands appearing in this card. And if you guys have seen the past readings, I did refer to the movie Sense and Sensibility, and it was actually the first time that I saw a man cutting a woman's hair in a movie to keep it as a keepsake. So it was very interesting because I thought of this card right away and I was like, okay, I get it. But anyways, guys, I really wanted to share these specific cards with you guys because it's what came out in the shuffling, and the intentions that I had in mind when I was shuffling was, what is the masculine going through at this time when he's thinking about the divine feminine? Because I know that a lot of us can pick up on what our masculines are going through. Many of us can feel very focused and very in tune with ourselves, but then we also can understand when we're picking up on things that are not our own. And that's when the twin flame connection comes into play. And many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just dive right into the cards here. So, what you want wants you. And the reason I wanted to start off with this card was because when I first started learning about my twin flame connection, this was actually one of the cards that used to come out the most. And that's what actually made me message my masculine on Instagram at the time just to say hello. But I think it was like more than saying hello. I think it was kind of like letting him know that I knew the truth, and that's why this card kept coming up. It's like what you want wants you. And I think that a lot of you need reminding that the reason you feel so strongly about your counterpart is because the energy is being pulled towards you, because you have this sort of like inkling or knowing that this person is thinking about you just as much. Okay? I'm going to dive into the energies of the numbers. We have the 1 and the 6. Well, we know the 1 is a masculine number, okay? It's the number that kind of strives forward with a lot of ambition and just has an idea and goes for it. And then we have the 6, which is about lessons and compromise. And I feel like the compromise, that key word, comes up in this reading because when we think about what wants you, you have to be able to trust your intuition a little bit, and that's where you have to compromise on the journey. So I don't want a lot of you stressing out right now about whether or not it's your twin flame or it's not your twin flame. In order to answer that question on your own, you have to start feeling the energies a lot before you can even answer that question. Sorry guys, I'm looking at Megan in the background and she's like so cute being like all serious facing the other way. So what I want you guys to do is like trust in the connection without needing physical validation from your counterpart, because what I get is that like sometimes that tends to get us into trouble when we try to convince them about the twin flame journey, or we try to make them understand the information or research that we've done ourselves. It just doesn't work. Like they've got to take this information in as they will and find it on their own, just like we did. I have the 2 of Autumn coming up. It's a beautiful image here of this gorgeous fairy, and it's the Fairy Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue. And it's talking about just kind of like bringing fun into everything you do, because the 2 energy itself talks a lot about charm and living out our divine life purpose. And I think that many of the feminines are trying to go in this direction because we can feel our masculine surrendering to the connection. So many of them are stepping forward with like communication, and it's scaring the feminines a little bit because you didn't really see the connection moving as fast as it is when you started to trust in it. But what I want many of you to know is that, right now, whatever's going on in your connection, the 3D world needs your attention, and matters of the heart are being resolved through what you want wants you. So trust in that and just focus on what's important right now, because I feel like creating abundance through finances and creating a lot of comfort, a place to go, a place to be alone with your counterpart, that's what's taking priority right now for the both of you. Following your own rhythm. So there's many of you breaking apart from family cycles, friendships, relationships on the outside that are really just like not accepting of your twin flame journey. And many of you are just at that point where you really don't care anymore to lose these relationships. You're following your own rhythm. And if that means a very small circle of close friends and family that you resonate with, well, then so be it. And I think that for the masculines, this is a huge change because they're used to being the life of the party. They are very used to just having a lot of people around them, being very social, having a lot of friends and family that really enjoy their company. But for these masculines, if you're not going to accept his divine feminine, then you can't enjoy his company. And I feel like he's saying that loud and clear because he is going through this awakening, and he's been in this hermit stage through a lot of the lockdown that we've been feeling, a lot of the resistance, a lot of the balancing that's been going on with the yin and the yang sign in there. And I really feel like many of the masculines with this number 12 energy, which, ideally results in the number 3, and that does talk about like creativity, getting juicy, okay? Really ramping and vamping things up in this connection with you two, because I think that things have been stagnant for a while because you guys have had to come to terms with a lot about your karmic connections, but being in the hermit phase for the both of you, specifically the divine masculine, he's really having to go through a lot of changes here. And at this point, if you'll notice, he's like holding his hands out. He's very prepared for the changes that are about to come, because I think that karmic cycles and karmic influences have had this like illusionary hold over the masculines. Like sending out messages that the feminine is not going to accept them if they knew the truth about them. But the Lover's card, like I said, is coming out in this spread. And I think with the Lover's card coming out, what the feminine is saying to the karmic energies in masculine's life is that there is nothing within his life experience that he has faced that will make me judge him negatively. And I think that that's where the karmics kind of fall flat. They don't have any power over this connection anymore, and it is because the divine feminine has really put her foot down in terms of what she expects. And the divine masculine very much respects her because of this, because it's teaching him to stand up for himself in karmic relationships as well. Because the divine feminine has done the same. Like, I feel like she stood up to like her bosses, her karmic partner, her friends, her families, like everyone in her way of her just kind of like doing her thing. And he's just on his knees admiring this energy about her. And right now the masculines are doing the same because, with the 9 of Wands in here, he is dedicated and committed to his feminine. That 9 energy... Sorry guys, my elbow keeps bumping this and I'm going to remove it, but I have a feeling it's because the message of this card keeps wanting to come up, which is things are about to get juicy. And what I feel like is about to get juicy is, the masculines kind of like getting out of this energy of just like admiring her from afar, being obsessive, like really just like, I want her, but I can't do anything about it. And it's like, he's really just like soaring. Like, he's like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go for this. Because we've got the 7 of Swords, or the 7 of Winter coming up. And, for me, I think that what he's feeling is that, like, he's focusing on what makes him feel good at this time. And it's the divine feminine, okay? It's the pure, sort of warm, even though we see winter here, it's the warm energy of the divine feminine. It's focusing on what makes him feel very pure at heart, what makes him feel very young at heart. And I think that by connecting with the feminines, the divine masculines themselves are appearing a little bit more youthful and feeling more youthful. And they're seeing things a little bit more clearly so that they're able to soar forward with this confidence. Because to me, the 7 is all about awakening, especially to our true potential, and getting out of like depressive and stagnant energy, getting up and facing like the cold. It's like getting up on a cold day and say, okay, let's go like tobogganing or sledding. If you're from the Caribbean, you're like, no, not me, I'm not going. But this energy represents, like, if you are from the Caribbean, you're like, yeah, I'm going out there. I'll get dressed for it. I'll get dressed for the weather and I'll go out there and I'll enjoy it. And I think that this is what the masculines are experiencing. It's like, even though this love is different, and it's challenging, he's going to go for it because the Lover's card from the Tarot of Sexual Magic is appearing in the spread. And I think that he is choosing his heart over what his ego says. I think that the Two of Summer comes up here as the Two of Cups because it lets us know where his intentions are. And even though the feminine might be hesitant at this time to let go and proceed and start over with the connection, the Moon card reminds her that she has to return to these repressed memories and forgive and forget, because there's a lot of powerful intuitive messages that are coming towards the feminine right now in regards to her masculine, and he is really showing her that he is committed to moving this forward in the physical. And again, I'll repeat that 717 energy. Many of you want to connect with your counterparts, not only just by thinking about them, dreaming about them. You want to be with them physically. You want to touch them. You want to taste them. You want to see them, connect with them. You want to use your five senses. You want to use your body. You want to engage in the earthly pentacles energy of this journey. And so, if there are any of you listening who resonate with the earth signs, the Moon card is coming up to let you know that you've got to be able to manifest it. We've got the 1 and the 8 there. The 1 is a very masculine energy of just kind of striving forward and going for it. And then paired with the number 8, it's about being very self-reliant and just trusting yourself, not needing any validation or advice or high counsel from anyone else but your higher self. I hope this reading finds you all well. I will catch you in the next one. Take care, guys. I'll speak to you soon.